This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Create a website quickly and easily today. Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be talking about the Spanish plum, also known as Mambin, Spondius purpurea, Jocote, Sorella. There's a whole bunch of names. I'm probably saying every single one of them wrong. Well, I've done this before. However, when I did it before, I used one that wasn't that great looking. I think what usually happens is that people pick these green, they let them ripen off the tree, and when that happens, these don't fully get ripe. They get like a little bit of purple spotting or red spotting around it, but they don't get uniform. Miamifruit.org, who has sent me a whole bunch of things in the past, they sell these unripe, but they also sell them ripened on the tree. Look at that. I've never seen one that looked like this before. So these are in the Spondius genus, and if these look kind of familiar but not exactly right, that's because there are two other ones that are also popular. If you live in Southeast Asia or India, you may be familiar with ambarella fruit. That is Spondius dulcis, I believe. These ones are Spondius purpurea, so they're very closely related. There's also another one, Spondius mambin, or hog plum, where these ones are more orange. And one thing that I think all of these have in common is that people eat them both ripe and unripe. When they're eaten ripe, they're eaten like a regular fruit, or people make like a juice or jam out of them. When they're eaten unripe, they're very often used with like salt or chili powder. These are a little bit astringent, so people put salt, chili powder, and stuff like that on it to kind of even it out a little bit. So first, let's try it ripe. There is a thin skin on the outside. It's very similar to like a plum in its skin. You can eat it. I believe, though sometimes people choose to discard it or peel it. It's a little bit tough, but not that bad. There is a large seed in the center. The texture on this is just like so juicy. It's like dripping down my thumb. It is just a little water balloon of pulp. The flesh also sticks to the seed rather tightly. So when you're done with the fruit, you can kind of like suck on that like a candy. The sweetness on this is pretty high. I would say it's sweeter than an apple. Maybe like a 7 out of 10. The sourness though, also pretty high. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10 for sourness. And that flavor, there's a lot there. I'm mostly getting kiwi though. I'd say it's like 50% kiwi, 10% banana, 10% star fruit, 20% mango. Oh, and there's like a little bit of like a heartiness like you would get from a tomato. They look like tomatoes. And there's like a little bit of like lycopene in there or something. Maybe a little bit more like a tamarillo sort of flavor, where it's like a fruity tomato taste. Next, I'm gonna try this green. Whoa! Packs a punch! It has a very green flavor, like the flavor you'd get from like spinach, but it's also quite sour, like a really sour green apple. Sourness has jumped up from a 6 to like an 8. Sweetness is lower. Just like a 1, or I say a 2, like a 2 on sweetness. And when you eat it, it puts like a little dusty sort of sensation on your tongue. It's not like dry mouth, but there is definitely like some sort of astringency there. So that's why I'm going to take some salt and sprinkle that on top. Yeah, it works. When you put salt on that, it neutralizes some of that tartness and also neutralizes some of that astringency. Just a little bit. I'm not sure why this isn't a bigger thing in the US. Unripe fruit with salt on it is something that people do in Asia, Middle East, South America, Central America. It's like such a common thing in a lot of parts of the world, not in the US, which is a shame because it's really, really good. It satisfies your craving for like a snack without being like overly sweet. It's more like having a vegetable, I guess, but there is also like a fruit element. However, if I were to choose one over the other, ripe, 100%. I mean, the green ones are good, but these ripe ones have such a nice flavor to them. Such like a nice, sweet, sour, complex fruit taste in there. These ones, they're pleasant. Like, they're really nice. I could see chowing down on a big bowl of these, like, while watching a movie or something. It's a very satisfying thing to eat, but it's a simple sort of taste. However, there are a few different things that you can do with these. The unripe ones are ones that are like ripening, but not as ripe as the bright red ones that I have there. And one of those things, you can make like a sort of a candy out of them. You can candy these. So I'm gonna try it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but here's what we're gonna do. Making videos is actually not my main job. I am a stage performer, and because I'm an entertainer, it is very, very important to have a good website. I've had a performing website for over 10 years, and I've created it with Squarespace. What I like about Squarespace is that you can use it to create just about any kind of website. I have two very weird websites. I have one that is for organizing fruit videos, and I have another one that is for pitching my contortion show. Very, very different things, yet I was able to do that using Squarespace's layout and web creation tool. If you need a website for any purpose at all, Squarespace has you covered. So head over to Squarespace to start your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/weirdexplorer to get 10% off your first domain or website. Okay, I've got a big pot full of boiling water here. I'm gonna take my Jocote fruits and just put those in. As you can see, a lot of these are kind of like on the in-between stage. They're not completely green, they're not completely ripe. I believe that's the ideal way of doing it, but we'll see. And these are just going to boil temporarily until they start cracking. And that's going to help with the next step. Some people, they will actually boil these like I'm doing right now with ashes in the water, because the ashes have an effect on the fruit where it will make the fruit separate from the seed on the inside. Believe it or not, I don't have a bunch of ashes in my apartment right now, so we're gonna try it without. I just dunked these in like a minute ago. They're already turning a different color, which is kind of interesting. It's been just over 10 minutes, and as you can see, these are losing their skins. Skins are peeling off, and you can see that they've all basically cracked. And they've plumped up a bit. So you take these, you drain them, and then you move on to the next step. Okay, I've got a pot. I'm going to turn on the heat and add half a cup of water. And this stuff. This is panela. Probably saying that wrong. What this is like an unrefined sugar. And I don't know exactly how much of this to put in. Probably more than you think you need. So I'm going to put as much as I have in there. And I also have some brown sugar. You can do that as well. If you don't have vanilla, you can use brown sugar. I'll add one of these. So that's quite a lot of sugar. I think that should be fine. Look at some spice options. Some cloves. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cloves. Got a little bit of cinnamon left from when I went to South America. Let's put that in there. So you let the sugar dissolve at like a medium heat. Okay, all the sugar seems to have broken up. So in goes the fruit. So that's 5 minutes. Let's turn this off. Yeah, the skins have basically all fallen off, which I don't think is what you want to do. I think you want to leave them intact. Looks okay. All the skins falling off have not really helped its appearance, but Flavor is what I care about. Tastes really good though. It reminds me a bit of like a baked apple or mulled cider or something like that. A while ago I did a review of the not Jocote, but Jocote, which I'm also saying wrong. And in that episode I did the same sort of thing. And it tastes very similar. I'm sure a lot of that is just the spices and sugar that you add to it. But having a tart fruit to do that too does really help. Taking some of these and putting on like ice cream, rice pudding, or some oatmeal or something, that would be really good. I'm glad that I revisited the Jocote. The unripe ones are really good if you like that sort of flavor where you add salt to something unripe, and it's really, really good if you candy them. And the ripe ones, those are even better than that. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you one more time to Miamifruit.org. If you're interested in these, the ripe or unripe ones, they have them available on their website. I'll put a link to them in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, Loftyrex, and JMac. They are mega patrons over on Patreon.com. Patreon, I'm sure you've heard about it, but basically it is how I can afford to go on all the adventures that I go on this channel and how I buy all the fruit that I buy. So if you are interested in supporting the channel, check out the link in the description below. Another way to help out is by going to my website. My website has all my videos organized into categories, which is pretty cool, and I also have t-shirts for sale over there. So check it out, and I will see you all next time.